At Ericsson, we believe that we now stand on the brink of fundamental innovation opportunities across industries, public services, and in private life. Over the coming years, technology advances and information and communication infrastructure performance will rapidly improve and increase. This will enable new opportunities for people to create, learn, sustain, and innovate for positive impacts to our world. We call this new emerging society, of which we have only seen the beginning, the networked society. Culture is dynamic, and providing the technology to enable connectivity, Ericsson is enabling people to have the leisure to read, to reflect, to converse, to be enabled to draw the court and attention of the wise and learned wherever they may be found. This is enabling African culture to be enriched and strengthened within this network society, rather than to stagnate and die out. This is why Ericsson supports the CNN-Multichoice Africa Journalist of the Year Awards, because we recognize that the role that the media play in assisting the transformation of the world into a networked society. And I'm delighted to present the prize for arts and culture, and the winner is Kofi Akpakpili, freelance for the Daily Graphic of Ghana.
The arts and culture piece is just a fantastic description of a local brew that he doesn't profess tastes very good, but it's a wonderful, rich, lovely, lovely story.
No one ever swallowed that pétéché and smiled. At best, the reaction is a grimace or a frown. Some drinkers acknowledge receipt by blowing out air or pounding the chest.
Kofi is back this year. Last year he won the same category for his beautiful description of soup. This year he has done it with his interesting description of a local gin-like substance that supposedly doesn't taste very nice.
But to be honest, and for the records, Akpétéché also has a very serious value proposition, that of faithfully serving Ghanaian traditional culture. From birth through marriage to death, the drink is required for a number of customary rites. It is used to pour libation, and at the traditional level, it is part of the fine imposed at arbitrations. If one thinks of what schnapps in all its glory is used for today, one should know that Akpétéché has been there and done that.
What Kofi does so masterfully here is not only tell us a great funny story, but he does it with such rich language that your mouth is almost salivating the whole time to taste this ghastly drink.
I believe I now know how it feels when in the boxing ring they announce, and still, to God be the glory. The story of Africa is not only about disease and death and destruction and despair. Cultural beauty abounds. And with this second award, I'm going to be ever more passionate about the cultural issues that tickle the Ghanaian. Nana being in that scene of graphic showbiz, I would want to thank you for believing in me at a time when no one knew me. I would like to thank my family and all those who have supported me to reach this level. I dedicate this award to the cultural beauty of Ghana. Thank you.
The Free Press Africa Award recognizes the journalists who've sacrificed their safety on a daily basis to champion press freedom. And to present the Free Press Africa Award, I'd like to introduce the chairman of the judging panel, Joe Kibazo.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Free Press Africa Award is our acknowledgement of what many of our colleagues go through in practicing their journalism and the severe conditions that they face. In their quest to tell the story, many end up imprisoned, harassed, and in some cases actually put their lives on the line. This year's recipient, Mahmoud Abdi Jamar, editor of Waheen, an independent private newspaper published in Somaliland, is one of those who has suffered greatly. He was sentenced to 3 years imprisonment and fined in connection with a story alleging public corruption. After a vigorous campaign, he was granted a presidential pardon and released, having spent over a month in prison. Mahmoud Jamar was selected by the judges for his tenacity and determination to stick with the story and provide the public with information in the face of great opposition, regardless of the consequences to himself. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Mahmoud Abdi Jamar from Somaliland.
dhammaantiin waan idin mahadnaqayaa sababta la xidho waxay ahayd xirfadayda oo aan muddadii dawladda cusub ee Somaliland ay dhalatay aan ugu talagalay in aan ummaddeeda uga faa'iideeyo si aan musuqmaasuq ugu baahin in aan daba galo oo aan u ilaaliyo hantida arrintaasi waxay ahayd tii aan ku galay xabsiga waxaan halkan uga mahadnaqayaa dhammaan suxufiyiintii meel kasta oo ay joogtaba ku dadaashay inay culays ku saarto xukuumaddii markaa aan wax ka sheegay ee xidhay in ay xabsiga sii diiso waxaan kaloo halkan uga mahadnaqayaa waalidkay sidoo kale waxaan halkan uga mahadnaqayaa mulkiilaha Waheen Media Group Dr. Ahmed Hussein Ciisa sidoo kale waxaan halkan uga mahadnaqayaa Professor Iqbaal oo ah wakiilka Somaliland ee Koonfur Afrika waxaan leeyahay oo halkan caawa uga mahadnaqayaa dhammaan intii igu taageertay in aan ka midho dhaliyo mihnada saxaafadeed oo aan muddo badan ku soo jiray waxaan halkan ka ballan qaadayaa in aanan kaga hadhi doonin ama aanan ku baraqjabi doonin xabsi daraadii in aan dalkayga iyo dadkaygaba u hibeeyo in aan u ilaaliyo hantidooda sidoo kale waxaan halkan uga mahadnaqayaa oo maanta leeyahay ummaddeeda ku ciida sanad guurada 26 Juun ee ay Somaliland xornimada ka qaadatay dawladda Ingiriiska waad mahadsantihiin
Thank you all. Mohammed said he wrote an article to make the government of Somaliland to be better and stop the corruption, and he went to jail for that reason. Mohammed would like to thank fellow journalists who wrote about his stories when he was put in prison and help him to get him out of jail. Mohammed also would like to thank his boss, Dr. Ahmed Isa, who gave him an opportunity to be a journalist. He also would like to thank Professor Iqbal, who helped him to travel to South Africa because he couldn't get his visa to come to South Africa. Mohammed promised that after winning this award, that he will not be afraid to go back to jail if he needs to tell the story. And again, he would like to thank his fellow journalists and his families, and thank you again.
Now, these awards have truly come of age. They've been in existence for 16 years, and in those years, the awards have developed into one of the most prestigious of their kind, which is a sign of excellence in the world of journalism. They've also proved to be life-changing experience for many of the talented recipients who found themselves in the spotlight and in much demand. And before we continue, I'd like to just ask everyone to join me in applauding Africa's finest, the talented journalists assembled in this room.
All our finalists receive a cash prize and a BlackBerry smartphone, with the winners also receiving a laptop computer. The 2011 CNN-Multichoice African journalists will be awarded a further cash prize and the opportunity to visit CNN's headquarters in Atlanta to attend the CNN Journalism Fellowship. And now, we come to the final and most prestigious prize of the evening. It gives me great pleasure to invite CNN's Parisa Khoshravi and Nola Latele of MultiChoice to make the presentation.
What an inspiring evening. The CNN Multichoice African Journalist 2011 is Fatima Noor of Star, Kenya.
Fatuma Noor's story is about a group of young men who lived in exile in the United States and Europe, who decided to come back and fight for Al-Shabaab in Somalia, which is considered one of the most dangerous places in the world.
Adan lifted his head from his laptop, where he had emailed his mother to tell her he was in Nairobi and not to worry. He said he promised her he would keep in touch. Frankly, I'm scared. I do not know what to expect. It's weird. It feels like it's my first time to go to Mogadishu, and yet I was born there. But my mind is made up, he tells me.
I was fascinated reading that story. It was something new that I was learning.
He started consulting with his colleagues on the appropriate punishment they should mete out on me. Ideas were bandied around as we silently watched. The men were discussing my fate, and there was absolutely nothing I could do. There has never been a time I have been more scared for my life than that moment. For a moment, I regretted traveling with the recruits in the first place. I questioned myself why I allowed my journalistic instincts to override my security concerns. However, there was no time for this. It was too late now. I was so sure they would kill me that I started making a silent prayer to Allah.
The judges unanimously agreed that this story was comprehensive. It gave us insight about Al-Shabaab, and it was very well written.
Thank you. I don't know what to say. I am grateful to everyone, but I dedicate the award to my mom and my boss, Catherine Gichel. It's because of them that I'm here today. And for my mom, who never believed I'm choosing the right career, I'm sure now she's very proud wherever she is.
So congratulations again to Fatima Noor on her success.